good morning to you, our viewers, and welcome to the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show. Today, it's not only the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show, but it is a Good Friday. So, we're about to be in for a ride. Remember, it's the holidays. But before we go anywhere, good morning, Eric.
Morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Amazing. It is quite an interesting edition of the Breakfast Show, of course, because it is a holiday. I know people are resting right now, and some are probably celebrating the Easter, celebrating what. I do not want to get much into it, but even as we get into the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show, my name is Malwa Eric J. Mwana Mujende on the as the host this particular morning.
And we started the Breakfast Show on a good note. So the Easter holiday is going to be a good one. And remember, let's get interactive in the comment section. Tell us how you're celebrating your Easter holidays. It starts today, Good Friday. Tomorrow is Happy Saturday. It's Good Saturday.
I'm not going to lie, I've not really followed it, but just in case, please help me understand this entire thing in the comment section. If you just want to explain to us, just give us the details so that we can read them out and get through the show if you understand it fully well.
Let's get interactive in the comment section, but for now we get into our headline pick. Zema approves gold processing hub in Mumbwa. Woman allegedly murdered by lava in Guardian House. Police assure public safety as 24-hour economy takes shape. Remember, you're still watching the ICU TV Friday edition Breakfast Show. For now, we take a short break. More stories coming in our story pick.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Well, welcome back, and remember you are watching the ICU TV Breakfast Show Friday edition, and of course we have given out the headlines that we're going to be looking at this particular morning. And now let's dive right into our story pick, and the first story being, the Zambia Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, has approved the establishment of a government-owned gold processing hub in Mumbwa district, and the facility, spearheaded by the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development, will operate as a central processing center for multiple mining operations and is expected to handle up to 15 tons of gold annually. While the project is aimed at improving environmental management by reducing pollution from scattered plants through a single controlled facility. Approval was granted during ZEMA's third Environmental Assessment Committee meeting held on March 26, 2026. Meanwhile, ZEMA has approved 124 out of 134 development proposals across sectors such as mining, energy, agriculture, and infrastructure. While key projects include a 140-kilometer fiber optic cable network along the Kalumbila turn of Kambimba border road in Mwinilunga district to improve internet connectivity, while 5 projects were rejected and another 5 deferred in line with the 2026 Environmental Impact Assessment regulations. Quite an interesting story to look at this particular morning, especially for the fact that we see a fiber optic cable network along Kalumbila turnoff in Kambimba border road in Mwinilunga, which is something quite interesting, especially for the fact that it's obviously there's not been network in this particular area for quite some time. It's probably a bit pathetic and all, and we're now seeing this improvement and being put up. I think that's something that the people will appreciate.
I agree, and not only that, from the 134 development proposals, 124 were picked, which is a very good number. And looking at the produce that will be done, like 15 tons of gold annually, that's a good side on the economic side.
And for real, especially for the fact that it has been approved that the establishment of a government-owned gold processing hub. It's something that we've not had in quite a long time, and especially for the fact that it's in Mumba. We've seen a number of mines being put up in Mumba, and in fact that now we have a processing hub as Zambia, and putting it up in Mumba. I think that's quite an interesting one, and we see that locally we will be able to process our own minerals, and that's something that people can actually applaud, and we can say the government is actually doing something.
Not only is the economic growth being increased, but also we see job opportunities here now that the hub is being opened, so which is very good.
Indeed.
Yes, and now moving on, a 25-year-old woman, Anastasia Chingumbe of Garden House, has allegedly been murdered by her boyfriend, Mabin Chewe, who is currently on the run. Her body was discovered in her rented home after neighbors and the landlord noticed a strong smell and an unusual presence of flies coming from the house. The deceased was last seen on Friday when her employer dropped her off at home. The suspect remained in the area and misled tenants about her whereabouts before the situation raised suspicion. The landlord and tenants later forced entry into the house and found her body wrapped in a duvet with bloodstains under her bed. It is further alleged that the suspect had been staying in the room during this period. Family members have described the relationship as abusive, with a history of separation before reuniting in February. The suspect is also linked to threatening messages sent to the deceased's young sister, while police investigations are expected as the search for Mabin Chewe continues. This is very sad.
Indeed, these are the same things that we've been talking about. I think even in the past the past breakfast shows that we've had, looking at the fact that people are going through such and do not want to leave. Please, if you are in a relationship that you feel is not doing good to you or leave, do not wait for people to. Don't
wait for the worst to happen.
Don't wait for people to. Don't look at how people are going to think at the end of the day. It's about your safety, it's about how you feel, it's about how you the repercussions of what's going to happen at the end of the day, because these are things that we know, we see. You find a man, a woman, I think this is something that's both sides, that goes both ways. You find that a man is being abused by a woman is being abused, of course mostly the common thing is a man abusing a woman.
Yes, because you'll be seen as weak if the community will see you as weak. But it's a very good thing to come out, even when you as a man are being abused by a woman.
Indeed. So most of the times, open up to the people around you. If you're not able to open up, and if you feel you're not able to be helped, just leave or find a safe space where you're going to be comfortable but on the other side, we're not just encouraging people to just leave their marriages and just like that, unless you feel it's a life-threatening situation. And please, on that one, I do recommend that person.
And remember, it may not just be physical abuse, mental abuse also, because when someone is abusing you mentally or you're being abused mentally, it really takes a toll on you, and you get affected in so many ways and how you function. So once you notice these little things, do not. We may sometimes hold on to things saying, "Oh, he might change," or starts to think, "Oh, maybe I overreacted. That's why this person reacted towards me this way." When you notice these things before it escalates, most of the things that's bit by bit, they keep on maturing. Today maybe they just slap you. Next thing is they're punching you. And the next thing is that they're using weapons to, to get to you or beat you. So when you notice the red flags, talk to someone. If anything, just leave. The best is leave.
Absolutely, Amina. And now I think it's clear enough. That's something that everybody should get to look at. And now, getting on to our next story this morning. Of course, remember you're still watching the ICU TV Breakfast Show. Just in case you want to comment on this stories that we have this particular morning, do drop them in the comment section, and we will be able to read them out at a later point. So we just get to hear your views. If you just even if you just want to say something to a person out there, especially for the fact that it's Easter, it's Good Friday, I should say. Yeah. And now, getting on to our next story this morning. Under this topic, well, the government has approved the implementation of a 24-hour economy to boost economic growth and create more job opportunities, while necessary policies are being put in place to ensure the initiative is successful. An Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kwafel Musamba, said the Zambia Police Service is repositioning itself to support the 24-hour economy, and officers will increase visibility in communities to deter crime, act professionally at all times, and citizens should not fear arrest or charges for minor contraventions, commonly known as shishita, unless the law is broken. Well, between January and March 2026, the Zambia Police Service recorded 19,202 cases countrywide, well, a decrease of 674 cases, or 3.4% compared to the same period in 2025. And Mr. Musamba emphasized that assessments, capacity building, and investment in technology are ongoing to strengthen police operations. That's another interesting story. Of course, looking at the introduction of the 24-hour economy, we had positive and negative feedback on this one. But it feels like, to some extent, the positive feedback is on a bigger side, because I do not know. I feel this is something that most people have felt now they will be able to work without being the regulation is a little bit on a lighter side now, because somebody will wake all the way up to morning, say a shop owner, and they know at least that time that they were being forced to rest, and say 22 hours, I'm not too sure, but
they can make more money.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes, remember you're still watching the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show right here live on ICU TV. That's on Facebook and YouTube. That's ICU TV Zambia. Let's get interactive in the comment section. Do leave us your comments, your thoughts in the comment section. We'll be able to read them out. You want to give a shout out to your loved ones? Drop it in the comment section and we'll be able to give a shout out on your behalf. We take a break. Catch you on the other side.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Well, welcome back, and remember you are still watching the ICU TV Breakfast Show Friday edition, and it is a good Friday. Let's hope wherever you are enjoying the day responsibly. And yeah,
we get into our more story picks, and now an office assistant, Evans Kamango, has pleaded guilty in the Lusaka's Magistrates Court to breaking into National Institute of Public Administration (NIPA) examination strong room with intent to steal. The offense involves unauthorized access to a restricted area where confidential examination materials are kept. The incident occurred between November 24th and 29th, 2025, when Kamwengo unlawfully entered the secure facility. The breach was discovered after authorities noticed irregularities, leading to an investigation and his subsequent arrest. Kamwengo has been charged since and admitted the offense in court. The case highlights concerns over the security of examination materials, with further investigations underway to establish the full extent of the matter.
Exams.
Exams. And then you break into the restricted area to steal materials.
And this is okay. So obviously the students that have just been that have been observing him, they know that he's got a little bit of some access. He knows what happens around the institution, so they've been going to him. What I would like to know, if it's something that he's been planning or something he's done before, or it's something that he's just thought, maybe this is something that can give me a little something at the end of the day. But please let people pass on goodwill. I don't think it's an issue where we need to have now people breaking into the exam room to a point where this is somebody that has been working at this particular place for a long time, and now he risks whatever he has to
maybe make more money or be on the good side with the students.
Is it things being bad? Anyway, we will not speak much on it, but please, let's do things the right way, especially also for the students at NIPA. You're probably the ones that it's just me saying it. Don't push people to do such acts. You don't know where they come from. You don't know what they do. Of course, at the end of the day, he wanted to do it as well. But I feel these are things that can be avoided, and these are things that study hard. Study at the end of the day. Don't push someone who's got a family to do such an act. At the end of the day, he's paying for something that he probably didn't want to do. It's just an assumption. He probably didn't want to do, but now because of say his situation and all that, and decided to go on and do it because students, he gets to push him, get to convince him to do this particular act just because you want to earn something at the end of the day. And now getting on to our next story. Well, the government has released 23 million kwacha to address sanitation challenges at the University of Zambia Unza, with emergency works now underway on the institution's water and sewerage systems. Well, a joint team from the Zambia National Service (ZNS) and the Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company has been deployed to carry out the works. Well, the team is working to clear blocked manholes, replace old pipes, and improve water flow and enhance safety within the system. Well, the project is progressing well and is expected to be completed within 10 days. This is a story that brought a lot of stuff on social media.
It did, and because a life was lost, it calls for emergency. We have more stories on the other side. We take a break. When we come back, we take you on to what's trending on social media.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education.
Welcome back. You're still watching the ICU TV Breakfast Show here on ICU TV. In case you've just joined us, I'm your host, Amina Mutambo, and we've been giving you back-to-back stories with my colleague Eric Mwana Mujende. And now we get into what's trending on social media. Students at the University of Zambia protested along Great East Road in Lusaka against poor sanitation and unsafe living conditions. The protest followed the tragic accident, I beg your pardon, the protest followed the tragic death of second-year student Emmanuel Walia, who drowned in a sewer pit on campus. Students are demanding urgent improvements, accountability from university management, and a full investigation into the incident. Precious Banda has more details in the following report.
Students at the University of Zambia have taken to the street in protest over poor sanitation at the institution, following the death of a second-year student, Emmanuel Wadia, who reportedly drowned in a sewer pit on campus. The demonstration erupted along Great East Road in Lusaka, with students blocking the busy road as they demand urgent action and accountability from university management. A heavy police presence was deployed as some students attempted to march towards Community House, highlighting the intensity of the protest. The incident has raised serious concern over unsafe living conditions and the worsening sanitation infrastructure at the country's largest public university, prompting calls for immediate improvement and a serious investigation into the circumstances surrounding Wadia's death. The government has responded to the situation, with President Hakainde Hichilema urging students to remain calm while promising decisive action. In addition, the Ministry of Education has released 23 million kwacha to address water and sanitation challenges at the University of Zambia, signaling an official commitment to redeem the pressing issues. Despite these interventions, students continue to demand greater accountability and concrete improvements. Furthermore, a collective motherboard association president has called on the University of Zambia Student Union leadership to resign, citing a lack of urgency in addressing students' concern and emphasizing the need to restore trust and accountability within students' community. Precious Panda reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
Quite a sad reading it has been, and of course, seeing a young life being lost. This is a student, somebody that parents have sent to school, and they're expecting that at the end of the day he's going to come back home, and but we do not know. He could have been the breadwinner. He could have been somebody that had been expecting that he would.
It's just he was in his second year.
Very sad. And when this was happening, actually, I was by somewhere. Do it responsibly. You're just trying to pass a message. Do not do it at an expense, or to a point where it gets to inconvenience other people. And it is quite sad that this happened. And of course, I've heard some statements that are trying to talk around this thing, and it's good that we have people stepping up and bringing out now to make us understand why this particular thing happened and how. Of course, not full information has been given out. It's just some allegations, and some people have brought out, of course, both negative and positive issues. But at the end of the day, well, we may he so rest in peace, and to the family, really send our condolences, and we hope such an incident does not occur again.
I believe it will not occur because the government and the Zambian National Service have stepped in to work on the damages within 10 days, because this sanitation issue is something that has been going on for time immemorial at the University of Zambia. So it didn't have to take a life to be lost for something to be done. But on a sad note, we lost a life, but on a good note, everything is going to be worked on.
And that's amazing, especially for the fact that there's Zambia National Service was called upon, and the swiftness of them jumping on board to work on this particular issue is quite amazing. And we really do commend you, the Zambia National Service, for that particular work that you are doing, of course, because we understand that now this is something that's going to curb future incidences like this particular one. And now, also to continue with our training stories, another sad reading we have a Molongosh University girl who allegedly took her life over a boyfriend. Those are allegations. Of course, we haven't gotten full information yet, but it is quite sad. Why are you going to yeah, I mean, we're not judging, but I think this is something that should really be talked about among young people. You earlier talked about, mental health and all. So this is something, somebody to reach a point where they take, I mean, they commit suicide and all. This is something that could not have happened right there and then, or maybe there could be other issues that could have influenced that particular decision.
No, it didn't. But background information from the people close as well as the people around. So the girl's name is Muiche. The late girl's name is Muiche, and so it so happened that her and the boyfriend, she lived in an apartment, and the boyfriend went to visit her. So according to the witnesses that were there, the man went. He went to visit her. After some time, the man just came